Here is the entire Toy Story franchise ranked after watching Toy Story 5. Now, I just recently rewatched all the Toy Story movies in preparation for 5, and my rankings have surprisingly changed. For years, it was always Toy Story 4 in last, then Toy Story 2, and then it always came down to Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 1 for the best, which I thought would be the same order for the rest of my life, but I guess I kind of grew up because my perspectives have changed. But still, I think we can all agree Toy Story 4 is still last. And even though there are plenty of fun moments, and I still enjoy this movie quite a bit, it does feel a little like Disney just wanted an excuse to make another Toy Story movie, which did work, by the way, because it made $1.07 billion at the box office. But if you really think about it, all this movie really accomplishes is changing the trajectory of Toy Story 3's perfect ending by having Woody choose Bo Peep. And even though it's also really hard to not semi-tear up when Woody chooses to be with Bo Peep while you see all the gang looking at him, this movie is strictly just Woody's story, and a lot of the characters I loved were just sidelined throughout the entire movie. And I really didn't care about Forky's storyline, which was a big factor to that problem. But if I were to go over my top 3 favorite parts of Toy Story 4, I'd have to go with Key and Peele as Ducky and Bunny coming up with a plan to steal the keys from the old grandma.
Ooh, what about Winner Winner Chicken Dinner?
Yes.
The key!
You're kidding.
I loved how they were able to sneak another The Shining reference in this movie by playing Midnight, the Stars, and You, which played during the ballroom scene in The Shining while the creepy ass Goosebumps dolls were pushing Woody around in a stroller.
Oh, what service?
In the honorable mention spot, Duke Kaboom doing his stunt off the Ferris wheel with his eyes closed was kind of electric. And besides Toy Story 5, this movie is easily the most visually stunning in the franchise, with the chandelier shining on Bo Peep and Woody in the antique shop scene looks absolutely gorgeous. There was a dolly zoom on Woody after Forky jumped out of the RV, which is kind of insane for a Toy Story movie. And finally, of course, don't you ever forget about the most random ass split diopter shot in any movie ever, from Gabby Gabby to Fork in the antique store. Like, who cooked this up? Next in my rankings, I think after watching Toy Story 5, this franchise has solidified itself as the most consistent series of all time. So here is the good and the bad without spoilers. Up first, this movie might look even better than Toy Story 4, and the visually stunning playtime sequences really helps. It definitely has the weirdest opening out of all the Toy Story movies, with a bunch of Buzz Lightyears, but that subplot eventually all comes together by the end. And there's also a romantic side plot that finally gets resolved after being there for kind of 3 movies. Next, even though I didn't come as close to tearing up on the level of Toy Story 2 or 3, they somehow matched the stakes and themes enough to easily justify this Toy Story being made today, like instantly locking in the idea to the audience that this era of toys is over and tech and devices have invaded the world, focusing on subjects like cyberbullying, doom scrolling, and that these devices might be aging kids faster than they should be. And whereas Toy Story 4 was Woody's story, this was definitely focused on Jessie, which got me a few times, with a standout Pixar moment with her finally maybe getting some closure from her original owner, Emily. And this might be one of the funniest Toy Story movies in the franchise, with a lot of the jokes I giggled at involving some of the side plot, Buzz Army, or the potty trainer device named Smarty Pants, voiced by Conan O'Brien. So overall, when I first heard there was going to be another Toy Story coming out, I was very skeptical, but this super elegantly turned itself into another Pixar banger, sitting at like a 4.5 out of 5 for me. And it was so good that it makes Toy Story 4 not feel as weak as it did before. So in honor of me thinking Toy Story 5 is one of the funniest Toy Story movies in the franchise, here is what I think are the top 5 funniest jokes from this movie. Up first, when the army of Buzzes tilted their heads down after finding out they're stuck on the island, got a chuckle out of me. I liked how the entire gang roasted Woody for getting fat and using a poncho, with a standout moment being Woody saying, "Peach likes my poncho." Then it cuts to her shaking her head.
Why are you wearing a dress, Woody?
It's called a poncho, Forky. Thought I'd change it up. Yeah? Well, Bo likes it.
I also thought it was funny that Lily Pad said to Woody, "Are you some sort of old man toy?"
What are you, some sort of old man toy?
What?
She thinks you're old because you're bald, Woody.
I thought it was insane that Axel, voiced by Chris Robinson, said he'll wipe your ass around an hour in. In the honorable mention spot, I love how when Jesse finally kisses Buzz and his legs kick up, that's a direct reference to Ken flicking his legs up when Barbie kisses him in Toy Story 3. And I really like how Smarty Pants got orange hair in Blaze's fantasy playtime world as a reference to him being voiced by Conan O'Brien, who has orange hair in real life. But in my number one spot, I think Snappy saying my entire SD card flashed before my eyes was so creative.
And, that's the last of it.
Next, it was just a spinning rainbow wheel. Then, darkness.
My entire SD card flashed before my eyes.
Now just know these next three are 5 out of 5 masterpieces. And it was really hard to do this, but next we got Toy Story 3. And what I appreciate on this rewatch is that there is a serious tone shift from the first two movies to this one, and it weirdly works so perfectly. And again, every part of this movie is iconic to me, like the caterpillar and butterfly rooms. Specifically the part where Buzz closes his helmet right before the caterpillar kids come and just destroy every toy they see.
Rex?
Come to Papa.
Of course, the tortilla Mr. Potato Head. Whoever came up with the idea for Spanish Buzz Lightyear was an absolute philosopher.
Bitácora espacial. Me he despertado del hipersueño en un planeta extraño.
That damn evil ass eyes in the sky monkey.
That's it? Doesn't seem so bad.
It's not. Your real problem's the monkey. The monkey's the eye in the sky. He sees everything.
Ken inside the vending machine clapping but looking disappointed at the same time is an amazing meme. And then I'm convinced you're not a normal human being if you don't at least shed a few tears at the end. Like Andy giving his toys away to Bonnie, and even Woody is literally the best ending to this trilogy they could have ever came up with.
So long, partner.
Now when it comes to Toy Story 3, there's 3 continuity errors that have kind of always messed with me even since I was a kid that I feel like I have to share somewhere. Like, how did Woody, Bullseye, and the aliens get under the bucket when the baby was searching for them near the playground during the prison escape scene? It's almost like they literally teleported under that bucket, which I know works as a cool moment, but it kind of makes no sense. Next, how did the alien get his leg stuck in the crack of the dumpster when it was completely shut? And at the same time, how was Lotso able to lift up the lid of the dumpster when it was already hard for Baby to pull it down? Which we all know is the strongest toy in the Toy Story universe. And finally, how did 3 toys, Lotso, Woody, and Buzz, get magically lifted up by the metal golf club after the weight of just Buzz and Woody was enough to bring it back down? I always thought that made no sense, but again, these are really just nitpicks. I still think Toy Story 3 is a complete masterpiece, and I really just wanted to share my thoughts online somewhere about it. Next, rewatching Toy Story 2 as an adult opened my eyes for how peak this movie is. And even though obviously Toy Story 1 is going to be in the number 1 spot, it is pretty much just the OG on Compound V, especially with the amount of references they were able to sneak in this damn movie that gave me inspiration to make a mandatory video about it. So, here are all of the movie references I caught during my rewatch of Toy Story 2, and I genuinely never realized how packed every scene in this movie was with references. Like the Darth Vader breathing sounds in Buzz Lightyear's helmet in the opening scene.
Buzz Lightyear mission log.
The drone that came out of the wall looks identical to the Jabba's palace drone in The Return of the Jedi. Pretty much every time Buzz shoots his laser in the opening scene, it's a Star Wars blaster sound effect. When the ground opens up in the opening scene, it mirrors that majestic Star Destroyer shot in The Empire Strikes Back. Every note when Buzz steps on the tiles is the same notes from 2001: A Space Odyssey. When Buzz puts his hand through the hologram, it makes a lightsaber sound effect. And that was all from just the opening scene. For other references, the scene where Ham is flying through the TV channels, half of the channels are frames from the Pixar short films, and it also was turned into an amazing meme.
Wait,
Woody walking through the Cheetos on the ground works as a direct reference to the poison dart tiles and Raiders of the Lost Ark's opening scene. There's a Jurassic Park mirror reference shot when Rex is chasing the car down the toy aisle. Because Woody is voiced by Tom Hanks, who plays Forrest Gump. Slinky Dog, right before they cross the street, he says,
I may not be a smart dog, but I know what roadkill is.
Which is a direct reference to Forrest Gump saying, I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. The logo on the door to Chicken Al's apartment is the Lightyear logo. And of course, Zorg saying, no, Buzz, I am your father.
No, Buzz. No. I am your father.
I am your father.
While the entire elevator shaft looks identical to the blue and orange Bespin cryo chamber in The Empire Strikes Back. So due to those references, it easily makes me have to put Toy Story 2 in front of Toy Story 3.
Don't just stand there and try and brace it with something!
The walls! They're closing in! Quick, help me prop up Vegetable Man or we're done for!
Put me down, you moron!
Now besides references, here are kind of all of my favorite parts of Toy Story 2.
In just a few hours, you'll be sitting around a campfire with Andy making delicious hot schmoes.
They're called s'mores, Buzz.
Right, of course.
Woody's nightmare scene actually scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and it makes a great meme. The line of,
All right, next tape! Hey, wait a minute, what happened? Come on, let's see the next episode!
That's it. The show was canceled after that.
is another S-tier level meme. The American flag transition into the TV was an electric transition. Now originally it was the patriotic flag to the TV transition, and that is the same transition on Disney Plus, but for most versions it is the globe transition to fit better for global audiences, which I thought was an interesting choice. I love Woody's delivery of the line, if the boot fits.
You calling me a liar?
Well, if the boot fits...
Say that again.
If the boot fits.
And of course, don't forget the most satisfying scene in cinematic history when the old man cleans Woody, who, if you didn't know, is the same guy from the short film played before A Bug's Life, Gerald's Game, where he plays chess against himself. And I also didn't notice until Toy Story 5 that Woody was semi-balding in Toy Story 2 until the old man cleaned Woody, which was interesting. Then there's all the Buzz clones, which is a generational meme as well. When Woody comes out of the box looking drunk, kills me every time.
Sheriff Woody!
The entire climax being inside the baggage handling maze while Buzz has a sticker that says butt on his butt is goated. And then to wrap it all up, they do the old-fashioned Pixar bloopers. So, before the #1 movie, one of my favorite things about Toy Story 2 is that it had a blooper gag at the end of the movie. And the only other movies that have done this are A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., and Elio. So here are my top 5 favorite bloopers from Toy Story 2.
And action.
Oh, first, Woody falling in the tape hole is a good baseline blooper.
Marker. Okay, and pull back.
Woo! I don't remember eating that.
Cut.
Buzz burping in the toy bag is iconic.
I can't believe that you talked him into making A Bug's Life too.
Oh, yeah, I can hardly believe it also. But there's a little baby tiny thing I forgot to tell you. And action.
The A Bug's Life cameo has got to be top 3.
Prospector, how about you?
And so you two are absolutely identical? You know, I'm sure I could get you a part in Toy Story 3. I'm sorry.
The freaky Prospector blooper actually got removed from Disney Plus, so it's got to be in my second spot. And easily in the #1 spot, all 3 of Woody's pranks on Buzz are easily the best bloopers.
We'll be back before Andy gets home. What? Huh? Real funny, Woody.
All right, we're losing our light.
Bob, howdy.
What? What's so funny? Woody! Huh? Darn it, Woody!
Okay, let's go.
And easily in the #1 spot, I still think the best Toy Story movie is the first one, which I'm convinced is a war crime to say now because I've seen a lot of rankings online and so many people are saying Toy Story works like the John Wick franchise, where the first one needed to walk so the rest could run. Well, for me, I think the first one is the GOAT, and I kind of hate the slander. So here's my attempt to defend this movie the best I can. First off, it never gets old to me that Woody is just crashing out in every scene. Like the Buzz looking alien parts.
Buzz looking alien! Where? Ah!
You actually think you are the Buzz Lightyear?
You actually think you're the Buzz Lightyear? Oh, all this time I thought it was an act.
Him screaming after Sid burned his forehead.
Pop-Tarts are ready! All right!
The shark stealing Woody's hat.
Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Give me that.
Him screaming to Buzz, "You are a toy."
And you, my friend, are responsible for delaying my rendezvous with Star Command.
You are a toy!
And of course, don't forget when Buzz got his revenge and gave Woody back shots in the climax. There's also insane references in Toy Story 1 as well, like Sid's carpet being the same pattern as the carpet in The Shining, which this entire franchise has a lot of Shining references snuck throughout it for no reason. There's a direct parallel to the Raiders of the Lost Ark when Buzz gets chased by the globe before he falls out the window, just like Indiana Jones in the opening scene. And even at the end of the movie, when Andy's family is driving, you can briefly hear Hakuna Matata playing on the radio. Which is a reference to The Lion King, which is another Disney movie. So overall, I really hope I'm not nostalgia blinded by this movie, because it was the only one I didn't rewatch for this video, because part of me was kind of scared that it was going to change in my rankings if I did that. But I gotta trust my guts. And I think if the ending with the rocket, where Buzz is finally falling with style, makes me cry due to pure peakness, it confirms to me that watching Toy Story 1 is equivalent to watching the Mona Lisa get painted. So let me know in the comments if you agree with my rankings. All I know is that Toy Story 4 and 5 are pretty much locked into their spots, but I really think 1 through 3 can be interchangeable on the right day for anyone. End of discussion.